Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys had a good day yesterday. Nice 10K for me yesterday, profit, and the team banked as well. So we're just gonna continue nailing this hot market, having a good time, and keep up the streams. Make sure everyone's making money. Make sure everyone's learning, and yeah, we're gonna keep it up. So always, I'm going to be doing my best to help you understand what's going on in the market, help you become profitable, and yeah, let's get to it. So we know we have a penny theme once again, right? We have the stock yesterday started to run RSLS in after hours, and that might start up the penny theme again. So I see a lot of pennies like SCPX had some volume, a few others had some volume. So this is why the only stock that I'm in right now is ASTI. And I'll wait just about a minute to let everyone roll in, and then we'll get started. But I'll explain why I'm in this, and why I do like it. All right, so we got some more people here. All right, let's get started. Just a little review session like we do every single pre-market stream. Where does liquidity sit? Everyone, where does liquidity sit? In chat. Where does liquidity sit? Everyone in chat. All right. You guys got it. You guys are getting it down. I like it. So above highs and below lows. So we have a high here. All right, on ASTI. We bust through that high. Okay, so no liquidity. We have a high here. We break the high. And what happens? High volume rejection right here. Okay, high volume rejection, which caused the move down. So we have a high here. Okay, at 22. And where's the rejection? Right here above this high. So now we travel down all the way to where? Because we grab liquidity here, we gravitate towards the next liquidity pool, right? So if we have a high here, like we said, liquidity is above highs and below lows, like everyone is saying in chat. So if it's above highs, so we broke a high here and grab liquidity. So where are we going to target now? Below the lows. And what happened? We come down to this first initial candle where we have a little bit of volume start to roll in, and we see that we break below this low, right? Accumulate all of this liquidity and start to set up for that move up again. So where are we targeting now? Where do we target now? If we grab this liquidity, where would targets be? Probably towards 20 cents, right? 20 cents and 22.5. That's where price targets are on ASTI. So does that make sense? We always talk about liquidity above highs and below lows. You guys can see we broke below this low, and now we're starting to set up off of that level. So anything in between this level, as long as sort of now that we're up, we want to risk about 16, which is that lower wick. So as long as 16.10 holds, this is a bullish trade for that move up to 20 and then 22.5 and maybe new highs. Is that clear? That should be pretty clear. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay, that's clear. Okay. Now let's move on to a few other ones. So we have RSLS on the run. So ASTI is the only one that I'm in. and the other ones we're just going to kind of recap for the rest of the day. All right. Okay, so what do we look for? We look for high volume candles, and now in the chat I mentioned the key level for RSLS. This is what I said. Right, so in the chat I'm always updating about key levels. So RSLS, I said 0.4539 is the level to hold for RSLS. Watch for soaks below that. So if RSLS, in the scenario that RSLS does want to go, we're going to have to see a 0.4539 hold and a soak of that, okay? So what's going to happen? So why did I get this level? So if we're going to the high volume candlesticks, right? We're looking at the high volume candles. First, let's mark out these high volume levels. We have support right here, high volume, right? You guys can clearly see high volume support right here. And what happens here? What happens here? Tell me what's going on here, guys. Everyone, what's going on here on RSLS? We have a high here, and we break above the high. What happens? You consolidate above the high. That means you're grabbing liquidity, and then you move to where? Below the low, right? But what happens once you move below the low? The high volume low. You grab liquidity, and then you move to the next target. So right now, what is this? This is considered a range trade. This is liquidity grab both ways. So one way here, one way here. So once you can identify liquidity, this becomes a lot easier. So obviously this chart just explains everything that I always teach. ASTI is looking pretty good for us breaking out here, but we'll come back to RSLS in just a minute. We're looking good here on ASTI. Nice. No more chasing. If you're already in, then you're in. Don't be chasing up in 19s. You don't want to be buying too high. So now we just kind of do what you want as you go up, scale off on the way up. We have room to 20, 22. But yeah, now that 17.5 is broken, we have clear skies. Clear skies probably towards 20. We were talking about RSLS. Right, so now this just kind of proves that we move from range to range. We move from level to level. So once you wait for this level break on the lower time frame, and you find it that it's kind of holding up, you take that trade for the next leg. Okay, you take that trade for the next leg, and that's exactly what's happening on RSLS. So there's a few scenarios now. So we look for a high volume candle, right? We look for a few levels. Now, what you want to look for the bigger move. For a bigger move on RSLS, remember this is in the zone. So now for the bigger move, we either look for a breakout, retest, and go, and not something like this. Because we need in order to get a breakout and retest, you need a significant move to the upside and then a pullback into that level. Otherwise, once you have something like this, a slow, small upside up wick, then it just becomes a liquidity grab for shorts. So now that's clear, we either look for something like a breakout and retest for an entry level like this, or a break below, soak, or a break below and retest where shorts enter. So there's three scenarios here. Is this clear why we kind of mark this out? Because this isn't a range. Remember, we go to the 30-minute chart, and you guys can see we have a low and a high. So right now we're chopping below that low and high. So now, okay, so in chat, I mentioned that I got my key level. Once more, let's get rid of these. In chat, I mentioned that I got my key level 4539. So how did I get that? Right, let's go over this. How did I get this 4539 key level for RSLS that I mentioned? Well, because we're trading between the range, we have the low and then we have the high. What I did was, this is the high volume candle, right? So I marked out the candle close as well. Now that I marked out the candle close and the 45.4 is holding now this has a higher probability of doing the scenario of this, versus if we candle close below this level, we would get something like that. Is that clear on how this works? You guys understand what's going on? That should be pretty clear. So on ASTI, now we continue to look for that hold of the 45.4, which is the high volume key level in the middle. And then we look for entries. So as long as this 45.44 level holds, we're good. Needs to get soaks under. So that's what I said. I said it needs to get soaks under. That's what it did. Now it needs to pull back into 45.5, hold that level, something like this. For a move like this, this is what needs to happen. Not saying it's going to happen, but if RSLS wants to make a move, then this is what's probably going to happen. By the way, I'm not in this stock. I'm not adding it right now, but just something that you guys want to note. All right, so RSLS plan is clear. ASTI is looking good for us. Hopefully we continue to break out. Give me just a second. All right. Let's move on to the next one. SCPX is getting a few questions. All right, SCPX is getting a few questions. So let's check this out. All right, so now that we got a clear chart, right? We have a clear chart. Let's see what we look for. We look for the high volume key levels. So high volume key levels. We have high volume right here. Soak below here. All right, not necessarily a soak, but a hold on Webull actually. On Webull, it broke below and got the sweep. I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. I think it broke below and got the sweep. But what do we look for here now? So because of the high volume key levels, what I would look for is that once we break below this low 15 and grab liquidity on Webull, it broke it. But now what I'm looking for is a 15.8 reclaim for something like this. Now, where would the targets be? I want you guys to tell me. If we grab liquidity below lows, which means we mention there's liquidity below lows, right? So where are we going to target now? Where do we target on? If we get into this 15 area after a sweep, where do we target? We have two targets. We're going to have two targets. We're going to have this, and we have this. And I'll explain why. So we talk about liquidity above highs and below lows, above highs and below lows. So if we sweep the high volume low, where's the target? 14 sweep, target is 20, 21, final target. Now on the way up, obviously you have resistance, so you scale off on the way up. But from liquidity to liquidity, it should be going from 15 all the way to 20, because once you sweep lows and a high volume low and you reclaim the open candle level, 15.8, that just tells you that, hey, we're moving on to the next, like 17, 18, 20. Those are the scale off areas on the way up, right? That should be pretty clear. You guys understand? From we sweep the low, you target the high. That's what you would look for. And then obviously, there you go, resistance from before as well at 18 cents. So you guys can, yeah, 18 is probably going to be really big. So I would wait for another sweep of 15 before taking an entry. The only two entries that I would take on this stock is going to be something like this, a sweep below, okay, or a pop, retest, and then move up. All right, these are the only two trades that I would look for. Yeah, Lucy is running. Just came on the scanner. All right, now SYTA, you guys can see I had these lines from before, so I'll delete them, and then we'll get started on this one. All right, so I want to talk about this right here. I'm still watching ASTI. Don't worry, guys. I'm still here. Still in this. We have low averages towards 16, and there's no need to worry. Still in the green. What are we looking at? Let me show you guys the zone on ASTI. Like I said, as long as we hold 1610, we are good. Like I said in early pre-market stream, as long as we hold 1610, this is our buy zone. This is our demand zone now. So we want to end up, if we come down to 1610 or not, we want to eventually do something like this. Okay, something like that. So hopefully a 5-minute soaker. Anyway, let's go back to SYTA. Alright, so in the morning when I was trading this, I saw it come on the scanner early morning. Early morning I saw it come on the scanner. I was like, okay, nice. This looks pretty alright. Now, what's one thing that stood out to me? At the time, there was none of this. There was none of this. There was only this. Actually, there was only this when I was looking at it on the 5-minute. There was only this. So what did I do? I marked out my 210 high, and I marked out my 172 low. I didn't mark it out, but I knew that was the low. And I was like, okay, well, we just grabbed liquidity above 210. So in reality, it needs to come down to 173. So what happened? We were not able to come down to 173, and we kept seeing a push. Now, usually once you see a liquidity grab to the upside, you start to see a move to the downside, right? But because there was not enough volume and enough liquidity in the market at the time, because obviously it just started running, right? There wasn't that much volume. There wasn't that much buying pressure or selling pressure, and buyers have recently started stepping in. So the fact that we did not completely come down to 173 and started holding up, I was like, okay, this is going to get a pop. I had 5K shares. I took 5K shares, and then I did get out, but it ended up having a nice run, right? So I was trying to scalp that, but that's just something to put in the books, right? That's something to understand here for sure. It's a good learning session where you have a high, and obviously you look for a pullback into this low, but because it's a fresh stock, and obviously the liquidity grab wasn't powerful, right? We didn't come down to 173. That just tells us that shorts are trapped and buyers start to step in at 210 and make that massive move to the upside. Now, what are we looking for here? What are we looking for here? Where's the high volume candlesticks? It should be pretty clean and simple. Marked out the lines for you. If and but scenarios. If and but. If we reclaim 204 with strength, because we've already grabbed liquidity below it. So if we reclaim 204 with strength, right? Something like this. Where are we going to target? Where is the target? We target the next liquidity. So why is, okay, good question. Scaling off at 279. We have room until 324, but this whole area is selling pressure. So 279, 285, 290, $3. I'm always scaling off on the way up. So this whole area is a selling area for me. So that's why I'm going to start scaling off. My first scales are 279. Now my first scales would be 204 here because there's not much range on this. Is the stream working? You said stream. Someone in the Discord said the stream died. Are we good? Can you guys hear me? Okay, we're good. All right, it's good. Okay, so what are we, yeah, we're looking for that reclaim here on 204 for that move to 279. It's pretty simple. All right. So yeah, that's what we're looking like. Is this clear? What we're looking for on SYTA? Write it down, chart it out, and see how it works out. All right, let's check out the next one. Which one do we want to go over? ASTS, a little bit expensive, too thick. SYTA, we went over it. Lucy. Let's go over Lucy. Oh, wow. Wow. Impressive. First thing that I notice here. First thing off the bat that I notice is that we have this line. Like that. All right. First thing that I notice here, we have this trend line here. So now that we have broken over the trend line on the larger time frame, on the small, see, we just now breaking over it. What you want to see is, let's mark out some key levels. So first thing that I see now on the 5-minute that stands out right here is this selling pressure candle. There's a lot of sellers that came in right here on Lucy, right? You guys can see that volume here. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark out this zone as a price target, okay? As a price target. And we're going to mark out this zone as a buying zone. Why is that? Because the high volume candle, we mark out the upper wick on it and we mark out the lower wick on it. So the lower wick tells me, hey, there's buyers here. And you guys can see that we have now flipped into buying here. So as 64 remains the final price target, we would look for a pullback into Lucy. And you guys can see the trend line would come into play here as well. But we would look for a pullback into Lucy towards this 48 level to hit that 63. Now that's assuming we don't hit 63 right now. If we hit 63 right now, then once we come down to 48, there's going to be less power and less strength, especially if we break over it, grab liquidity, and then make that move down, right? So especially if we break over it and make that move down, it's going to be a lot weaker at this level. So before 63, what I want to see is a pullback into this level at 49 for a move to 63 before we hit that. All right? Before. Hope that's clear. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? BNZI, I think it came down. QBTS, no volume. BHAI. I'm not a huge fan of those upper wicks. The only thing right off the bat, look for a sweep below this low to target like 24. Right off the bat, that's all I see. I haven't gone over CCG yet, no. What do you guys see right here? Right off the bat, first thing, quick, hit fire me. Quick, 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 quick. What do we see here? What do we see here? What do we see right here? There you go, liquidity grab. Above high. You have a high, you break the high, you start to come down. Where do we target? The low. Now, there's something in between this, which I think we might not come down to this low for now. And the reason for that is because we have some chop. So we have an initial high. So we're looking to maybe bounce off of previous high. So with this in play, maybe we don't target 167. I think that we could simply just hold this level right here. Still needs to dip and test previous highs, but minimum down to 180. Minimum down to 180 before that move up to 237 again. And if it holds this 180, that's a lot of room to 237 actually. That's a pretty big move. That's a pretty big move. You look for entries off of 182 for a move back up to 237. And as you guys can see, there's a liquidity sweep on the smaller time frame on the 5-minute working out here, where we have a we have a low, and then we sweep, and then we're probably going to target 213, grab liquidity here, because remember, this is still backside, so we're probably going to target here, grab liquidity, and start to move back down again. Just something that might happen, but I still think that this is backside, needs to test 180 and previous high clearly before making that move to the upside. All right. So it's been a liquidity sweep, right? We have we have a high, we break the high, start to sweep all the way down. Now we're sweeping below this 5-minute low. I would like it to come down to 180 previous highs. All right. All right, I'll do some quick hit fire ones, so you guys can ask away. All right, ONMD. All right, we're looking at, there's not much volume here on ONMD, but let's see, 30-minute chart. I like that it's multi-day. You guys can see tons of volume right here where we have the low, and then you would target the highs here. Okay, so right off the bat we have a high volume level, and then we look for support. So I think that one more dip down to like one sweep below 161 would be amazing. Right, sweep below 160 would be almost to the T perfect for a move back up to 240. And it's even better because it's been taking some time, right? It took 1 day, 2 days. So today's the 3rd day. So after 3 days of consolidation and we see a sweep here, we're going to see a massive move back up to 240s. And what's going to happen is that most people are not watching it right now because it's not on the top gainer list, right? So because it's not on the top gainer list, most people start chasing it at 220s, expecting 280 highs, and then they get trapped at 240. All right. So just be aware of that. Look for one. If you want to trade this stock, then do look for it to bounce off of 160 sweeps. Yes, so final stock that I want to go over once again is ASTI. Now you guys are mentioning that it did dip. Yes, I know, I'm watching it. It did dip. Now we started taking entries at 16. At 16 was our entry. So once it goes to 17.5, I didn't sell. But now that it's coming down, I'm still here at this 16 same level. I'm just letting it come down to break even. That's why I said do not chase the 17.5, 19 levels, right? We buy towards the low, and then if it holds, then we have a nice trade. So if it holds 16.10, we're valid. Just around that 16 area in general. Okay, so if it holds 16 area in general, then we're still valid. If not, then I'll cut it and move on. But still, we want to see the 16.10 hold, and then look for continue. The plan hasn't changed. Just we'll see how 16 area holds. All right, so that's why I say don't chase. If we took entries at 16, I'm still above my average. The stock is still above my average. So you guys, if I'm talking about it, don't chase it 47 cents, 40 cents up. Now would be, not saying that you go and buy it right now, but like focus on dips. That's what I do. So I'm still here. If it cracks below 16, then I will cut it. But yeah, so that's what we have into open. We're going to look for like 16 hold for that move. Like I said, 10-minute chart is holding nice, or sorry, the 5-minute. We grab liquidity below this low. Now we should be able to target the highs up towards 20. But yeah, that's the plan. So other than that, I hope you guys learned something in the stream. I'm about to join my Discord now back to live trading with me. As we speak, I'm about to head in there and find the winning stocks of the day, try to have like a 10, 15K day, and be able to call it on the day. So that's the plan for me. We are cracking down here on ASTI. Let's see. Let's see. I'll update you guys in the Discord. All right, I'll update you guys in the Discord. My final level is that 15.7. Crack below. I'm gonna sell. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, we're doing a YouTube live stream every single day on this this week because it is a short week. So I'm about to hop in live trading. If you guys want to come join me right now, link is right here or the top link in the description. Beautiful, beautiful soaker. Love to see that. But I will see you guys tomorrow on the stream, and then come join me for trading in my Discord if you guys want that. All right, peace out.